Welcome everybody to Rewind the Times. Good morning everybody. It has been a long time, about 2 weeks since I've done a video. Man, I've been really busy. A lot is going on. I've been training at another store at my job. The holiday season is upon us. I absolutely love this time of the year. The fall is my favorite time of the weather. You know, some people, when they see the sun makes them warm and giddy and happy. Well, I'm the opposite. The sun doesn't make me happy and giddy and everything. It's actually the fall. The fall time makes me happy and stuff like that. The fall is my favorite time of the year. It's because, you know, you got, first of all, everything's like fun in the fall. You've got football that comes on in September. My birthday's in September. And then every month there's a holiday. You've got, you know, Halloween in October, Thanksgiving in November, and obviously Christmas is in December. And I just love this time of the year. I absolutely do. I love Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love scary movies. They are my favorite genre of movies. And as most people know, and if you don't know, well, now you will know, Friday the 13th is my favorite horror series out of all of them. You know, you got Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. I guess you can say Art the Clown now. Ghostface. Art the Clown's from Terrifier, but you got Art the Clown from Terrifier. I'm sorry, you got Ghostface from the Scream movies. But Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th is my favorite series. I love it. It's something that I share with my kids, even though they're younger. They realize that horror is not real, it's fake and stuff like that, and they love it just as much as I do. Matter of fact, every other year, because me and here's a little realness about me. I have two children from two different women, and I have a 14-year-old and I have a 9-year-old, and neither one of them live with me, unfortunately. But my 9-year-old, I get him every other holiday. So last year I had him for Halloween, and he was Blue Beetle. And I don't have him this year, but next year we always try to do themes. So next year we want to go out as our favorite Jason Voorhees, our favorite Friday the 13th movies, our favorite ones that from the movies. So and that's what I want to come on here and I want to talk about today. I absolutely love the Friday the 13th series. I've loved Jason ever since I was young. I wasn't introduced to him at first. The first person I was introduced to was actually Chucky for Child's Play. I was introduced to Chucky first, and then it was kind of like Freddy, and then like, what is this Friday the 13th? And ever since I've watched one, I've been addicted to all of them. I love them. You know, there's been so many different actors that have played the different Jasons over time. Kane Hodder is the one I think a lot of people talk about when they do talk about playing Jason, because he played the most out of all of them. But I mean, you've got, what is it, part 2, you have Steve Dash. Part 3 is Richard Broker. Part 4 is Ted White. Part 5 is Tom Morga. 6 is CJ Graham. CJ Graham, I hear, is a great guy. I would love to meet him. And then 7, 8, 9, through the rest is Kane Hodder. And then you have like Derek Mears, who did Freddy vs. Jason. Oh no, sorry, Derek Mears did. I apologize. Derek Mears did the remake in 2009. This Kent Kersinging, he's the one that did Freddy vs. Jason. He's a big dude. So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about my top 3 favorite Friday the 13th movies. And my list is first of all, I love hearing everybody's lists. I love knowing what everybody's movies are, because the one thing that I love about the Friday the 13th movies, besides Jason Voorhees just kicking ass, is these movies were made. The first one was made in 1980, and you can see over the years the evolution of Jason himself. But what you can see is just each one's like a time machine. You can go back in you can go back in time and you can kind of see what decade what year this movie was made in. I love stuff like that. As most people know by the title of my YouTube channel, I love the past. I really do. I love the 80s. I love the 90s. If I had a time machine, I'd go back and I'd visit the '60s. You know, I'd go back to I think it's January 12th, 1966, and go see Batman. Batman came on TV with Adam West and Robin. I would have absolutely loved to see that show. I am gonna do a whole episode on that because I think that is the greatest show of all time. I don't even want to get on a tangent because I can go on forever about it. But you know, this is a Friday the 13th video. But I do want to do that video, and I just love the Jason movies, and I love how each one kind of shows you like it's like a piece of that decade, or a piece of that year that you're watching it, and I love listening to what people say. Matter of fact, there's a friend on here. His name is Christopher Seaver, and he likes Part 4, and Part 4 really is good. I mean, it really is. Friday the 13th, the final chapter is really a good movie. So I'm gonna give you my list. My top 3 favorite Friday the 13th movies of all time. And I'm going to start off with number 3. And number 3 on my list is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Love this movie. This one is actually a lot of people's number 1. C.J. Graham, the great C.J. Graham, plays Jason Voorhees. This movie, man, when I first seen it, it didn't get a, how can I say this? I remember when I first seen it, like because people were talking about Part 5, which I'll talk about later on. Hint, hint. People didn't really like Part 5, so I think people didn't really give Part 6 a chance. And Part 6 is just really, really good, man. It's actually the first movie that has campers, children, in the movie itself. The soundtrack is really, really, really awesome. The director of the movie, which is slipping my mind right now, he had there's a rock singer. Oh, I hate when I'm on camera and I do this, but he sang some songs for. He did like 3 songs for it. The Man Is Back, The Man Behind the Mask, and oh man, Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper did I think 3 or 4 songs for Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives, and just everything about that movie. It's just such a great movie, man. It really is. Like I said, C.J. Graham. The kill scenes are really, really awesome in that movie. The director was so cool, man. He's like a long hair rocker dude. I hate when I'm on, like I said, I hate when I'm on camera and I forget. His mind is slipping, but just a super nice dude. And that movie is just, man, it is one of the best movies out there. But on my top 3, it is number 3. So, my number 2 favorite Friday the 13th movie is Part 5, A New Beginning. And people go, huh? Friday the 13th Part 5. I think Friday the 13th Part 5 is so underrated. Man, I love it. I know that technically Jason is not in the movie. Tom Morga, who does play Jason, he plays imposter Jason. And we all know it's Roy Burns. Well, if you don't know it's Roy Burns now, sorry, you know, it's Roy Burns, the paramedic, the ambulance driver. That first of all, Part 5 was directed by Danny Steinman, and Danny Steinman, if anyone knows about his past, he directed porn. So that's why you notice in Part 5 there's actually a lot of naked scenes. There's a lot of swearing. I mean, there's tons of swearing, and I believe it has the most. I believe it has the most death scenes, if I'm correct. 5 and 6, I think. I think 5 has the most. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think 5. If I am correct, I'm pretty sure 5 has the most kills in all out of any Jason movie. But I love Part 5, and that movie gets crapped on a lot. And the reason I love it is because I like the whodunit. I really do like the whodunit. It really is a new beginning. You know, one thing that that Manfredi said is that after every Jason movie, they were trying to kill him off, but the fans just loved him so much that these movies were only made for like $1.5 million, 2 million back in the day, and they made like 8 times what the movie made, you know, of the budget. So I mean, it was so easy to make these movies, and fans just glamorized and just wanted more and more of Jason. So like I said, it was so easy to make these movies. You know, think about it, man. You made a film for $1.5 million, 2 million. maybe 3 back in the 80s, and they bring in 56, 60, 34, 35, 42 million dollars. I mean, they more than doubled, quadrupled what their budget was. So it was so easy to bring Jason back, but they've tried to kill him off so many times, and the fans just wanted him. But the thing, like I said, I love about Part 5 that I love is first of all, I love Sharif Ross. He's the one that plays Reggie the Reckless, and I just love his character, man. I really do. I love his character. I just like the whole concept, man. How Tommy, this is like this is the Tommy Jarvis version that really no one likes. You know, you have three Tommy Jarvis versions. You have Corey Feldman from Part 4. You have Tom Matthews from Part 6, and then you have, I don't even know this actor's name. It's sad. I really don't. Matter of fact, I think this is his only movie he ever did. I think afterwards he's like, I didn't want to do this anymore. He didn't want to get involved. Because I believe they asked him to come back to do 7. And he's like, nah, and he ended up doing something else. And that's why you have, 6. They asked him to come back and do 6. And he's like, nah, and that's why you have Tom Matthews, which I love Tom Matthews too. But anyways, yeah, so I love the whole whodunit thing. I like it. It's like kind of like Scream before Scream. You know what I mean? And yes, technically Jason is not in the movie, but he is in the movie. I love the beginning. The beginning is actually one of my favorite beginnings to a Jason movie. I love how it's Corey Feldman as a kid, and they're in the rain. Every Jason movie needs a couple of things. You need thunderstorms and rain. You need rain, thunderstorms. That's like a must-have in a Jason movie, and that's in the beginning of the movie. And I just love the beginning. I really do. I love that whole atmosphere of how Tommy is, Corey Feldman, is sleeping. He's laying down there because he's on his way to the psychiatric. It's like a mental house that he's going to, and I just love how, you know, that he goes and finds his grave, and then all of a sudden these two guys they try to dig it up, and then Jason kills them, and then all of a sudden he wakes up and he walks towards Tommy and he's about to kill him. I don't know. There's just something about that beginning of that movie that is just, I don't know. It draws me in, and I just love it. The thunderstorm, the rain, the lightning. Here's a real quick thing. I don't know if anyone knows, but the reason Corey Feldman was not in Part 5, which he was supposed to be. If you've seen the end of Part 4, they left that hanger for a reason. And the reason he wasn't in it is because he filmed a movie called The Goonies. So, but they still wanted to bring him kind of somewhat in the movie. So Danny Steinman brought his cast, his crew, his film, all that stuff, and they went to his house and filmed that in 2 hours in his backyard, which I thought was just really cool. So, you know, they set up, you know, the gravestone. And the only thing that stinks about that scene when I see it is in the original, when you put the movie on, you see feet walking, and the person's holding a flashlight. That's actually not Corey Feldman. That's actually a girl. It's actually a little girl. That was the same height as Corey Feldman. She's doing that. You know, she's doing like the, you know, the walking to the grave. That's why you can't see her face or anything when she's walking towards it. It's kind of like black, and then all of a sudden when it turns and zooms in on his face, it's Corey Feldman. That's the only thing I don't like about that. Is yeah, they didn't. That's not Corey Feldman used for that shot. It's actually a little girl the same height. And you can kind of tell, too. She kind of, this is going to sound weird, but she kind of has, like, thick thighs, thick legs. And then all of a sudden, Corey Feldman is this little skinny boy who's running. You could just kind of tell, you know, if you look at it. But there's just something, but like I said, man, I love the whole whodunit. I love the kill scenes. There's a lot of actors, there's a lot of kills in that movie that are very famous kills. It has an awesome soundtrack. It has a great soundtrack. The ending is just awesome. I love the ending. You know what I mean? How they go into the barn, and you know, and Tommy ends up cutting his arm off, and he falls from the top and goes to the bed of spikes. It's just love that whole scene. I love the whole chase scene. The last 15-20 minutes of that movie, I just love. And Tom Morgan does such a great job of portraying Jason, the imposter Jason. You know, I just really do. I love that whole scene. How he's chasing. I can't think of the actress's name in the rain. And, you know, then they get into the barn. They go back and forth in the barn. And then Tommy comes in, and then, you know, Jason hits him with the machete, and then they climb up to the top. And, you know, I just absolutely love it. And I like I said, I'm pretty sure it does have the most kills out of any Jason movie. So, So Friday the 13th Part 5: A New Beginning is my second favorite Jason movie. Friday the 13th movie of all time. Okay, here's number 1. My favorite all-time Friday the 13th movie is Part 2. Friday the 13th Part 2. That is my all-time favorite movie of all time. And people go, huh? But Jason doesn't, you know, he's not even Jason yet. He doesn't have the hockey mask. I don't care. I love Part 2. First of all, I think it has the best survivor girl of all of them, which is Ginny. Ginny is so strong in that movie, physically, emotionally, mentally. The last girl, I forget what they're called, if I'm saying it right. Jenny Fields. First of all, she's beautiful woman. You know, she's even beautiful now. She aged like fine wine. She looks great now. But I love her in the whole movie. I love that whole movie. And it's funny because I live in Rhode Island, and it was filmed in Connecticut, not too far from here, which is really awesome. Actually, the whole place where it was built, like that whole where they did all the scenes and stuff, it actually burnt down, or they knocked it down or something, and the casino burnt down too, where they had the casino scene. That casino burned. I think it burned down like a year after the movie was made. But the training center that they used in the movie, they knocked it down or something, or it caught on fire, and they ended up rebuilding houses and stuff. But Part 2, I just love Part 2. Steve Bush, who plays Steve Dash, who plays Jason in that movie, does an amazing job. A lot of people don't know that Wellington Gillette is actually the one who does the ending Jason scene with his face and everything. That's Wellington Gillette. But besides that scene, everything else is Steve Dash, and Steve Dash he's such a funny guy. And God rest his soul, he did pass away, I think, 2 years ago. Funny, he was an Italian guy. The way he talked and fuck you and this and that. He just seemed like someone that you could just break bread with. You know what I mean? Have a nice pasta meal and just shoot the shit with. And I love people like that. But Part 2, I just absolutely love it, man. The kill scenes are really cool. And that's a movie where, like I said, man, I believe it was made in 1981 or 1982. I can't remember off the top of my head. And it's a timepiece of that year. You know, I just love looking around. One thing what I do is when I love watching old movies, I love looking around and seeing what it was like the whole background, what's going on. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll catch like if they go past the movie theater, you get a kind of a glimpse of what's playing on the on the movie screen that year. Just love it. Love the kill scenes. One thing that draws me into these Jason movies is the actors. If I love the cast of actors, that helps me enjoy the movie more. Some actors, you know, in some of these movies, I don't care for, and I think that's why a lot of people like Part 4, is because that's another cast of characters, you know, that are just so good. Crispin Glover is really good in that movie. Kill scenes that would probably be my fourth favorite. If I had to do a top 4, that'd be number 4. Part 4 would be number 4. But Friday the 13th Part 2, I just absolutely just love it, man. Just love it. And it has some of the best kill scenes. Matter of fact, the wheelchair scene is iconic. The actor that played him, I can't think of his name. He passed away, I believe, in the 90s. He was a gay actor, and he passed away, unfortunately, from AIDS. But his death scene is iconic. I mean, you know, and there's so many one-liners from that movie that when I watch the movie, I just say them out loud. You know what I mean? Like Stu is always telling like stupid jokes and stuff like that, and it's my favorite movie of all time. Love Ginny in that movie. Love Paul. You know, I can watch all these movies. I can even watch Jason X. But those are my 3 that I go to in the holidays, or even when it's not the holidays. You know, even when it's not Halloween, those are my 3 that I can go to and watch. So, but hey guys, I wanted to come on here, talk about my favorite holiday, which is Halloween, and my favorite horror movies, Friday the 13th. Hope you guys have a great day. I have a lot of stuff coming in to do some videos on. It's just the time. That's what I'm having a hard time finding right now, is the time. Because I have pre-orders coming in that some are here that I want to do videos on. But I wanted to get a Halloween video out because I love this holiday. So listen, man, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Remember, man, take care of each other. And remember, man, God first and family. And to the next video. Take care, man. Peace, guys. God bless.